My name is Michelle Salinas, and thank you so much for joining us on Mature Living. Today we are interviewing a wonderful special guest by the name of Eliseo Duran. Eliseo is with the City of El Paso Parks and Recreation Department, the senior division, and we're going to talk about a calendar and all the different events that are going to happen within the next couple of months, June, July, and August. And I think the best thing that, it's up to you if you'd like to go ahead and read through the events, but some of the very, very important ones are the senior dances, right?
Absolutely, yeah. There's dances, throughout the year, and each senior center, we have 10 senior centers throughout the city of El Paso, and each senior center has a dance monthly. Mm-hmm. And they all have different dates, of course, but these dances, they're phenomenal because, a lot of these seniors, they go from center to center to go out dancing because people in El Paso love to dance.
Love it.
The seniors, they go out there, they have a great time. And there's a minimal charge to go into the dances. It's only $5, mm-hmm. which is really nothing because you get 4 hours of live music. It's dancing and entertainment, and you have such a great time, out there dancing and actually it's like an exercise.
Yeah.
It's movement. We want our seniors moving.
Correct. Correct. I agree. And so the first one is going to be on, it shows here, Wednesday at 1 p.m. That's when the actual dances are, right? Wednesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. But the first one is going to be on June 15th.
Correct. Yeah, they, it varies because each center has a different, some of them have them on Wednesdays, uh-huh. some have them on Thursdays, some have them on Fridays, and some actually have them on Sundays. So each center has a different date, but they all start at 1 o'clock, 1 to 5 p.m. And if you like to certain center, just give us a call and we'll be more than happy to give you the information as far as what location.
Okay.
Because they, like I said, they all start at 1 o'clock and they end at 5 o'clock, and they're all $5. Mm-hmm. But we have so many centers that it's kind of hard for me to mention all the dates and locations and stuff like that. But just give us a call.
Okay, so the most important one we were talking earlier is the third annual Grandpa, Grandma, and which one is that one?
And Mitardía dance. Yes, that'll be on July 22nd. That'll be a Friday night at 6 p.m. And this dance has been going on. It'll be the third year, like you mentioned, and they do it there at the Pavo Real Senior Center there on the Lower Valley. Mm-hmm. And this is a beautiful setting because what we do is we get the seniors, the grandpa and the grandmas, and they bring their grandchildren with them.
Oh, they
okay,
do.
so they not only is it a dance for them, but it's a dance for their children, for their grandchildren. Mm-hmm. And, of course, they also bring their children, but you see the seniors out there dancing with their grandkids.
Yeah.
And to me that's a special, beautiful bonding experience.
I agree.
They're out there for 2 hours. They dance. We have live music. We have we have food out there we have hot dogs, hamburgers, kind of like a little picnic as well. Mm-hmm. And you should see some of the grandkids. It's like their eyes light up. Dancing with their grandparents. Mm-hmm. It's just a beautiful experience.
Oh, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. That's a great tradition.
Absolutely.
Because when they grow up, they're going to do the same thing with their grandchildren.
Yes, uh-huh.
Talk to me about these summer outdoor concerts.
The summer concerts will start on June the 3rd. It's on a Friday. The first one will be at San Jacinto Plaza from 7 to 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And these concerts are free of charge. You can just go out there, and it's free and there's no cost. And they run throughout the whole city of El Paso. So every Friday there will be a different location.
Okay.
Okay. So as far as the location, just give us a call. We'll be more than happy to give you the next location. Mm-hmm. As far as the concerts. It is on our website. So if you want more information, just give us a call. And they're all from 7 to 9 on Fridays at different city parks.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is give everyone the contact number. So if people want to call or maybe email, you can give them an email. And I think there's a website to get all these,
correct,
the calendar, correct?
Absolutely. Our main office number will be area code 915-544-0753. That's area code 915-544-0753.
Okay.
And you can contact me directly on my email. It's last name Duran, EX at El Paso, Texas, all spelled out, .gov. And of course our city webpage will be www.elpasotexas.gov/parks. Basically, we want to invite the whole senior community of El Paso to come out to one of our senior centers. Like I said, they're all place throughout the city of El Paso, so there's usually one close by you. You know, and if you can just stop by one day and check it out. You know, they're all open from 9 to 4, Monday through Friday, and it's free to go into the centers. And we have so many activities for the seniors. You know, I mean, you should see we have arts and crafts, we have fitness, we have yoga, you know, we have ceramics, we have the dances, we have a nutritional program, and then we have like reading clubs. So there's a variety of things that seniors can do, and it's a beautiful bonding experience to come together with other seniors. You know, a lot of times you see some of the seniors at home watching the novelas. You know, we don't want that. We want our seniors moving. We want our seniors having a good experience, a good time. You know, we want them living. You know, we don't. What I tell people is don't exist. You got to live.
That's right.
You know, so we want our people in our senior centers and motivated and having a good time.
Well said. So come on out, come to all these events, come and shake your booty, come to the concerts, and you'll have a great time. And bring the family, because family is so important, and you need to teach them how to continue the tradition so that they know how to continue it with their families. Welcome back. You're watching Mature Living, and our next guest, this is a little bit more serious topic, and so we're really gonna try and ask some key questions so that we address some things that the audience needs to know. Our guest today is Janae Reneaud Field, and the topic today is Castner Range, and we're going to be talking about why is conserving Castner Range so important to this community, diversity economy. You know, we're going to kind of elaborate on that. So talk to us about why it's so important that we conserve.
Castner Range provides a lot of wonderful opportunities to the city of El Paso once it's conserved. It's currently owned by the Department of Defense, Fort Bliss, and they manage it. It is closed to the public, so nobody may enter it at this point. The land is within the city limits of El Paso, and our population here is just about 900,000 people. And having a national monument in the city would be an amazing opportunity to allow folks that may not otherwise go outside of this city to see a national monument and experience nature firsthand. Castner Range has wonderful diverse geology on it. It has wildlife habitat, corridors for wildlife to go across the 7,000 acres that it is up into the state park and elsewhere. It is, the scenery is wonderful. Most of Trans Mountain Road crosses through Castner Range, and every year the Poppies Fest is held out there for the past 10 years now, and you can see the poppies bloom. It's great for water conservation. As the rains come and they come down the mountainside, they help with the flooding. They absorb down into the ground and help with water recharge as well. There's some springs on the land. It's just a wonderful piece of property that would be a huge asset to the city of El Paso and to the Bureau of Land Management once it's protected.
And what has been done so far so that we can do that?
We have, so there's 3 groups that are leading the effort here in El Paso. It's the Frontera Land Alliance, the Franklin Mountain Wilderness Coalition, and the El Paso Community Foundation. And together we're working as a team to lead the local movement, which is all volunteer-based at this point, with folks that are running the Facebook page, in charge of the Twitter account. We've set up a website that's in English and Spanish. We have materials, brochures and such that are also in English and Spanish. We attend events. We have booths at events. We are approaching different universities and colleges, asking them for support as well. We've reached out to 95 schools here in the city of El Paso, asking if the schools wish to write letters or submit artwork, and that's coming in as well. We are doing interviews like this to help spread the word and educate people about the local movement and the effort to conserve Castner Range. There's a lot going on, and it's picking up pace. We have over 15,000 letters signed by individuals, and we're approaching folks in Las Cruces and Juarez and
Beautiful.
all around El Paso and Vinton and Horizon, asking anybody and everybody that would like to support.
Amazing.
We are obtaining letters of support from different groups, civic groups, conservation groups, from churches and businesses, asking them to sign on and support as well.
But what can they do? I mean, they're showing their support, but what can they actually do to help protect these acres?
That's the main activity right now, is to sign a letter, because we're taking them all to Washington, D.C. to pass off to the president to show that the community wants this.
Okay.
To also assist, we would love to have people help enter data. When we collect letters, we have to have people enter the names and addresses. We need people to help collect the letters that are signed, going door to door at block walks or at events. We need lots of people to help. The more people we have, the more places we can go to where we can approach more people to educate them and obtain more letters of signatures.
And where can we learn more about the efforts other than when you're on? Is there a website that people can go to? A phone number?
Castner Forever and .org is the place to go. And then we have a Facebook page, Castner Range National Monument. And if you have specific questions, you can call the Frontera Land Alliance office at 915-351-8352.
Okay. And how did you hear about Mature Living?
I was contacted because we were on a show about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was just checking in to see if they wanted to do another interview.
Yeah.
And then this was the opportunity that came up.
Yeah, and we have a wonderful audience. You know, they watch us, and they've been watching us for a very, very long time, and so it's a good mode to get the information out. And key is education. The more education you give our community, they can make an educated decision. And I think that the community really cares. They really want to see it grow and open it up so that we can all walk through it. And you know, the guest before you was talking about seniors and how, you know, it's how important family was. This is also that kind of thing. I mean, it's you go and you share and you show your children, look, this is part of El Paso. This is very important. We need to be part of the growth and conservation of Castner Range. And so thank you so much for joining us and coming on, and I wish you all the luck, and I hope y'all sign those petitions, and we need some volunteers. You know, give Janae a call and we'll get you started. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to be talking about vegetables in your landscape, mixing vegetables in among flowers, shrubs for color, and it's going to be filled with an edible bonus. So today we're being joined by Jim Hastings and Alice Parra, and they're going to talk to us all about conserving and vegetables and flowers and all that good stuff. So I think y'all have been on the show before. Have you?
Master Gardeners?
Master Gardeners are around a few times a year, and we enjoy the opportunity to share gardening information with folks. As Master Gardener volunteers, we are extenders for education for the Agent for Horticulture.
And when you joined us before, you talked about growing vegetables inside of the home, and it shows here that you also talked about garden plots, growing them in containers, the difference between putting them in soil and outside and inside, and then there were some other options for growing vegetables, and I think that's what we're going to probably talk about today, correct?
You can grow practically whatever you can grow in a regular garden plot, you can grow in your landscape.
Okay.
The difference is not all of us have room for 4x8 raised garden beds. So you can look at your garden and see, okay, I have a little space here that's empty, or I have a spot here. What can I put that's edible that will that'll go along with what's already there? Because you have to take into consideration the water needs and fertilizer needs that are going to be the same as what's already there.
Okay.
So you feel like having some fresh grown vegetables, you look for those spots in your garden that are already there.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can do like me. I've turned many of my flower beds now into vegetable beds.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what you can do. You don't have to go out and make raised beds.
Okay. Just use your existing.
You have
Easy.
to worry about enough sunshine for them, about 6
Okay.
hours a day minimum.
6 hours. Okay.
And that, so you don't want to stick them under your shrubs. You want to get them out there where we'll get that sunshine.
Okay.
And what I love about Alice's garden, I'm a cactus grower, not a vegetable grower at my house. But when you look at her carrots here, and these have been out of the ground a little while, so they're a little limp, but they're lacy. I mean, it's fern-like, and so it really adds to your landscape.
Right, right. Right.
And so you got that nice greenery.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well,
agree.
we have
And
a-
then in fall, you can have your leafy greens
Okay.
in there and add color on into the winter in
Yeah.
your flower beds too.
So other than carrots, what else can we grow?
Okay, well, we have 2 growing seasons. We have summer
Okay.
and we have fall, winter.
Okay.
In the summer, of course, the #1 plant vegetable is tomatoes.
Okay.
People love tomatoes, and you can grow tomatoes. They do well here in El Paso. What else does your peppers?
Okay.
All kinds of peppers. From spicy to sweet peppers, they do well. Then your squash, zucchini, and different types of squash. You also, if you have a spot in your landscape,
Right.
in the back, you know, and if you have a space like along the fence, you can put in cucumbers, melons,
You're making me hungry.
and beans, green beans, you know, that
Yeah.
they won't take up your space on the bottom, but they'll grow vertical.
Okay.
And you can use those. Those are some of your summer vegetables. There's also 3 that you can grow not only for eating, but they have beauty as well. The okra has a beautiful yellow flower. It's a tall plant.
I gotta write that
Looks
down.
very tropical with its
Looks-
pointy leaves.
Yes,
Okra.
okra.
Where's my pen?
The eggplant also is a nice plant. Has a beautiful lavender purple
Aw.
flower. So you see, not only do you can also get beauty, but you have the edibles that go along with it.
Right.
And of course the artichoke. If you let it go to bloom, you have this big blossom that's a beautiful purple flower.
My favorite color, and like your nails.
Yeah, so those are your summer. And then we have a chance to grow vegetables here in El Paso in the winter, planting in September, October. Carrots, the seeds went in October. There's carrots that do well, beets that do well. Your leaf vegetables like spinach, lettuce, Swiss chard, all of those do well.
Wow.
Beets, turnips,
Taking notes.
peas.
Peas as
And
well.
again, peas, I planted a little flower in the flower bed. In the back, I put the peas because they'll vine, and then the carrots were in the front. And then you have winter interest because, like Jim says, you have this ferny. The peas have the flower like a sweet pea, but they're white. They're really pretty. So you have in the winter, instead of having just dry and drab, you can also have this interest.
So tell our audience, if we wanted more information, how we get a hold of you.
Okay, we have a hotline.
Okay.
The number is 771-2354.
Okay. And is there a website? Is there a Facebook?
Yes.
How do they find you?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
The website is txmg.org/El Paso.
Okay.
And then we have a Facebook page under El Paso Master Gardeners.
Oh, okay.
And on the Facebook page, you can ask questions. On the website, you can ask questions also if you have whatever it is that you need.
And then the questions submitted electronically to us, and then we respond to you, so you get personalized treatment that way through the web,
Okay.
which is very handy.
Thank you so much for coming and joining us, and we appreciate your time. We hope that our audience learned a lot from you. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the topic weatherization and how to save energy in your home. And joining us today is Laura Ponce from Project Bravo, and she's going to break that whole thing down for us and tell us how that works.
Certainly. Weatherization is the science of making your home more energy efficient.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of things that you can do in your home that help it to keep the heat in the winter and keep the cold in the summer,
Okay.
and keep out the heat and the cold whenever you don't want to. And so weatherization is a program that we receive funding from the state to do things to the home that makes it better. So, for example, we can insulate the home in the attic and the walls. We can weather strip the doors. We can seal up areas where there's air infiltration. We can replace some appliances if they're not energy efficient. And so every house is different, and every house gets the weatherization measures that it needs.
Okay. Okay, so and tell me how people qualify for the program.
Sure. So this is a program for people that are low income,
Okay.
and priority is given to families that have somebody who's vulnerable in their home and who have very high energy bills. So if there's a person that's age 65 or older, a child under age 5, or a person with disabilities, they get a certain number of points for that. And then if they have high energy bills, then they get a certain number of points. And then people come in and apply, and depending on how many points will determine when they will get service.
Okay.
So if the family has very low priority points, they may wait 6 months to a year
Oh.
to receive services. But if they have a lot of priority points, they may get service within 1 or 2 months.
And is there information provided, like, say, for example, there's like so many, let's say, for example, they need to know, how do I raise my points? Is there a list?
No, really, the points, you have them or you don't have them.
Okay.
So in other words, you either have somebody in your home who's disabled or you don't.
Okay.
Because really the program is to help those families with, that have a vulnerable population that may have trouble with the heat first before anybody else.
And they go into you, and then they find out about the program.
Sure.
Does somebody go in and assess?
Yes, the way that the program works is that the family will come in, the head of the household will come in and apply for the services.
Okay.
So typically most people, when they apply for the service, they'll come in for utility assistance and say, by the way, I'm interested in the weatherization program. So we take all the information that we need, we send it to the weatherization program. The points are assigned once they're there, and so the weatherization program, they'll be looking at houses, and finally when the points come up for that particular group, then they'll make a phone call to the family. When they call the family, they'll make an appointment to go and assess the house.
Okay.
So then they go into the house and they do all sorts of things to figure out what's going on in the house and what can be done to make it more energy efficient. So things that they'll do is they'll put a blower door, which is this contraption that creates a negative energy, and it tells us if there's areas where there's holes in the walls or
Really?
air infiltration near the windows or the doors. So that's one thing we do. We also go up into the attic and see how much insulation is up there. We drill holes in the wall and see if there's insulation in the walls. We measure the refrigerator. If it's built past a certain date, we don't, because we know it's energy efficient. But if it's an old refrigerator, we'll measure it out and see if it's not energy efficient. And then all that information is taken back to the office. We put it in a computer program, and then it'll tell us what we can do and what we can't do. And so what we can do depends on the cost. There's a limit to how much we can spend per house. and then we will only do things that the amount that we pay for it, that amount will be recouped within 5 years in energy savings.
Okay.
So for example, something that we do very often is insulation, because it costs very little compared to the amount of savings that the family will realize from doing that. We never do windows, because if any windows, those energy efficient windows, they're very expensive, and it would take about 100 years to recoup the amount of money you invest
Really?
in an energy efficient window, in the energy savings you get for that.
Oh my goodness. So once they qualify and whatever you can fix and for them, they're not paying anything for it.
No,
it's just coming
this program
out
is free,
okay,
because it's only for low-income people. But also, this program can only be used once every 20 years.
Oh, once every 20
So
years.
there are people out there that they received weatherization in the past from, for example, the city of El Paso. They would not qualify. There's a master list that shows us who's received weatherization and who hasn't. So even if we haven't done the work, we'll know that they had weatherization done to their home.
Because the other resources out there are all communicating with each other.
Yes, because the funding comes from one place, and they give it to different agencies. And so
Right.
back about 5 years ago, there was stimulus funding, so some money was given to the city, and some money was given to us. And so we're not allowed to weatherize a home that's already been weatherized.
Okay. So how do people apply for the services? What do they?
They need to call Project Bravo 562-4100,
One more
and
time.
562-4100,
Okay.
and then find out if they're accepting applications. And if they are, pick up an application, fill it out, make sure that it's complete, make sure that all the documentation is there, because it's very limited funding, and so we may only have a window of a couple of days that you can pick up your application and turn it in.
And if they don't, let's say for example, it's somebody who is unable to get in there, is there another way besides just calling in? Can they go to a website or to
Yes, they can-
email or something?
They can go to our website, www.projectbravo.org,
Okay.
and download the application and mail it in.
Oh, okay. Okay. All
And
righty.
then right now we are accepting applications for the weatherization program,
Okay.
but once we receive a certain number of applications, we'll close the application process down, and people have to leave their phone number.
Okay.
And then we'll call them back once the application process opens up again.
Yeah. So you can only take so many, and then because the money runs out, obviously.
Yes, we budget. So
Yeah.
we try to budget so that the money lasts through the whole year.
Okay.
And so that means that, once we've hit that certain point in our budget, we stop taking applications, we serve the people in the pipeline, and then we open it up if we have some money left over.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I learned a lot.
Sure.
And I'm sure I'm going to learn more because I'll be calling, have some people to refer to you. But once again, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us on Mature Living. And please come back and see us and have a fabulous day.